Hello, lovely people. So nice of you to join me. Thank you so much for joining tonight. I hope you're well. I've seen some videos on Instagram about how absolutely cold it is in Tehran and in other places in Iran. So I hope you're keeping warm. It is definitely very cold over there. It's quite mild here, but I'm sure we're going to get cold air as well soon, so you're not alone. I think it's going to happen everywhere. I spoke to somebody in Canada, a very good friend. I spoke to someone in Canada. Hi everyone. I spoke to someone in Canada, and that lovely lady said that they've predicted the weather in Canada is going to get really cold. Minus, was it 17, 18 degrees? Ridiculous numbers. And they said the cold weather is going to continue into May. I mean, May is part of summer, right? So, it's freezing everywhere, so it's not just you. It's freezing cold in Tehran, Payman. Yes, unfortunately. Do keep warm. Do keep warm. I do hope you guys keep warm. Right. Hello, everyone. Hello. So nice to see you. Very nice to see you. I hope you're well. We are officially in March. March is the month that in the middle of March, or in the second half of March, we celebrate the Persian New Year, which is fantastic. Everyone's happy. My kids are very happy. I actually taught the Persian New Year to my kids from the very beginning, even when they were tiny tots. Tiny tots. I'm going to write that down. Burujak, yeah, tiny tots. Even when they were tiny tots, that means they were really young. Tiny tots. Excuse me. Even when my kids were tiny tots, I taught them about the Persian New Year. I taught them about how every different item on the sofre represents something. And they love it. Obviously, they love the fact that they get a little bit of money, maybe, just a little bit. But they love it, absolutely love it. So, tiny tots. Atafe, T-O-T-S, tot. Tiny tots, yeah. It's a version that we use that means very small, very young child, very small. We have Mother's Day as well, yes, London 2022. We do, don't we? We have Mother's Day. I think it's the Western Mother's Day. I don't know if we have the Iranian Mother's Day as well. Very good. بخش آموزشی دارین در No, sorry, I only teach online. So sorry about that. Do they go to Persian school too? M. Jalali 2020. They do not. They go to just a normal school here in England. Yes, very good. Okay, so lovely to have you. Thank you so much for joining. Very good. So tonight, what we're going to talk about is how we can respond to certain reactions from people. And I'm going to give you plenty of examples before we go any further. I'm desperate for my auntie, right? Are you originally from Iran? No. Okay. Right. So that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to try not to get distracted with the comments. Once I've finished, I'll definitely come back to the comments again. So what we're going to look at tonight is in a typical UK culture, a lot of the time, even in certain parts of America, possibly in Canada, Australia, I'm not sure. I don't know so much about the culture there. But what I'm going to talk about, excuse me, is quite a cultural thing. So tonight's lesson isn't something that you can find in textbooks. It's something that you will learn by being in an English-speaking environment and by talking to native English speakers, okay? Even people from other countries who've recently come to an English-speaking country, they might still not know this cultural aspect that I'm going to be talking about tonight. But anybody who is from a different country who's lived in the UK, in the US for quite some time, then they will know about this cultural fact, okay? Right. So basically, what we're going to be talking about is if someone says thank you to you, if someone says please, if someone says sorry, how do we react to this? I know I had a session on it previously, but then during the week, this week just gone, during this week just gone, one of our really, really good friends asked me a question, a very valid, very good question. And with her permission, I posted her question on my story as well. A very good question. The question was, this lovely lady asked, Layla, I'm a hairdresser. If someone tips me, if someone gives me a tip, not tips me, if someone gives me a tip, do I say it's my pleasure? Do I say, I don't know how you'd say it in Farsi, but the question was, how would I respond to this? Okay. So when someone gives you a tip, basically it's another way of saying thank you. Thank you for your service. I'm really happy with what you've done. So it's one way of saying thank you, isn't it, when we tip somebody? Now, when somebody says thank you to us, there are two different situations we need to remember, okay? I'm going to come out of the tip situation. I'm going to give other examples, and then you can decide the correct response to that tip situation as well. Let's say you and I am just leaving the supermarket. You are entering the supermarket. We want to both go through the doors, and these are very small, tight doors. So I, for example, hold the door open for you to go first, and then I go. And because I've done that, you're very kind, you're very polite, you're going to say to me, thank you, okay? Now, when you say thank you to me because of something nice that I've done, I'm not going to stand there and have a conversation with you. You're not going to stand there and have a conversation with me. You're on your way into the shop to do your shopping. I've just finished my shopping. I'm on my way out. We both have our own lives that we want to continue, right? So when you say thank you to me, and when we're only speaking for maybe 1 or 2 seconds, that's when I say, yeah, sure, of course, that's okay, you know, or usually in the UK, I say thank you as well. So you say thank you, I also say thank you, which means thank you for saying thank you. That's basically what it means. Okay, let's have another example, not just with thank you. Let's look at sorry. Okay, let's take a look at sorry. Let's say, for instance, I've gone into a pizza shop, sandwich shop, restaurant, whatever, and I've ordered, and you are the lovely person who is serving me in that pizza shop or restaurant, whatever, and unfortunately you got my order wrong. Okay, so you made a mistake, you got my order wrong. You're going to come back to me, you're going to say, I'm so sorry, I got the order wrong, I'm going to do it again. Okay, so you've apologized to me. Again, in that situation, we don't have time to have a proper conversation, do we? You just very quickly say sorry, and then in response, I need to give you a quick response. I can, for example, say, no, it's all right, or I can just smile, or something very, very short, and then we continue on with our lives, right? One more example. Let's say, for instance, I'm having difficulty filling in a form. I've gone to the dentist, I've gone to the doctors, I've gone to the opticians to have my eyes checked, for example. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat again. So I've gone these places and I am a first-time patient. They give me an application form and they say, can you complete this form, please? Yes, unfortunately, we're still doing paper forms in England. Honestly, it's ridiculous. So I'm sitting there filling the form, and there's one part of the form, let's say I'm having difficulty filling this part. So I'm going to go to the receptionist and I'm going to say, please, can you help me fill this form? Okay. And she's going to say, yeah, sure, give me a sec or anything like that. These are instances where we say, please, thank you, sorry, and we don't have a lot of time to have a conversation about it. It's just a quick thank you and a quick response, and that's it. A quick sorry, a quick response, that's it. A quick please, a quick response and answer, and that's it. You carry on with your life, I carry on with mine. We all know how to respond in those situations. Now, tonight's lesson is about what if you're not going somewhere else. You and I are going to stay in the same place. Let's say we all work together in a staff room. We all work together in the same company, right? We all work together and we're going to be staying together for quite some time. What happens now when you say please and thank you and sorry? I'm not in a rush to leave. You're not in a rush to leave. We're both still going to be here. What happens then? This is where it's a cultural thing, what I'm going to tell you tonight. And this is what you will not learn in textbooks or in classrooms or anything. This is what you will learn by actually talking to native speakers. Right. I need to give you examples so that I can give you a proper explanation for this. Let's say, for instance, you and I work in a company, we're together in the staff room. You come up to me and you say, Layla, I'm having difficulty installing this software. Okay, can you help me? And I say yes. So I get up from my desk, I come to your desk, I pull up a chair, that's my word, I pull up a chair. I pull up a chair, which means I get a chair to come sit next to you, yeah? I pull up a chair. I pull up a chair, I come and sit next to you, and I'm giving you some of my time, right? I give you some of my time. I help you with the software. We install it on your phone, finished. What's the first thing you say to me once I've helped you? Write in the comment for me. So you've asked me to help you. I just want to see who's awake. You've asked me to come and help you install some kind of software. And I've said, yes, I've pulled up a chair. Well done. Thank you. I've pulled up a chair. I'm sitting next to you. I want to help you. Now that we've finished, what's the first thing you say to me? Samira, thank you for your time. Nana Zati, you're a lifesaver. Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Very good. Pakdehi, thank you. Jalali, you're a star. Mali, hey Vancouver, thank you for your support. Ali, I appreciate it. Katie, thanks for your time. Thank you. Appreciate. Fantastic. Very good. So you say some kind of thank you, don't you? Yeah, all of you, you're so polite. All of you, you kind of want to thank me for my time, for my help, for whatever. Now, if I reply to your thank you by saying you're welcome, that shows that I am really arrogant. I am a big-headed, really, really arrogant person. The vocabulary is absolutely fine. You might think to yourself, in Farsi, when someone says thank you, we say khahish mikonam. That's polite. So how is you're welcome in English? Rude. Okay. When you say thank you, excuse me, and I say you're welcome, it shows that I understand that my level of knowledge is higher than yours. And for a few minutes, I am better than you are. I know more than you do. And that's what you're welcome suggests. Okay. So you might hear some people say you're welcome, but that's really formal, really, really formal. It's not a friendly situation at all. Okay, so yes, I know here, Samira says, oh my God. Yes. So what's the alternative? What do we say? If you have said thank you to me, how do I respond? The way I respond, and this is for all of the UK and a lot of the US. Again, I'm not sure about Canada or Australia. I'm sorry. I've only lived in Canada for 1 year. I've never been to Australia. Maybe people who live in Australia can teach me about the culture of it. But in the UK and a big, big part of the US, when this happens, you say thank you to me. I completely bypass your thank you. Bypass, it means ignore. I completely bypass bypass. Bypass, it means ignore. I completely bypass your thank you. I expect your thank you. I'm waiting for your thank you, yeah, but I don't specifically directly respond to it. This is how I would respond. Let's say it was software that I was helping you with. I help you with the software. Now that software is on your phone. I'm helping you how you can use it. You're really happy. You say, thank you, Layla. I don't say you're welcome. I don't say, of course. I don't say anytime. I don't say sure. I completely bypass that thank you. And I start talking about the benefits of that software. Yeah. So I don't even acknowledge that thank you. I want to hear it. I expect but I don't respond to it. What do I say instead? I say, yeah, it's really, really good software. I've actually been using it for years, and I would be lost without it. That's my way of responding to your thank you. Okay, and this is a cultural thing. Excuse me. This is a cultural thing. So when someone says thank you to me and I have time to have that conversation. Remember when you and I are walking through the door of the supermarket, I've just finished my shopping, you want to go do your shopping. You know, we don't know each other, we're strangers. You say thank you. I'm not going to stand there, have a conversation. Yeah, this is a fantastic supermarket. Look at what I've just bought. We don't know each other. You just say thank you. I say thank you in return. That's it. You go that way, I go that way. Bye-bye. But when we're both still in the same location for some time, especially people we know, our colleagues, our neighbors, our friends, if we're sitting at a table in a restaurant, if we're meeting somebody in the lobby of a hotel, friend, colleague, if we're talking to our neighbor, if we're talking to somebody, say, at work, we're going to be there for quite some time. So when that person says thank you, I do not respond directly to the thank you. Instead, I bypass the thank you and I start talking about the situation. Does that make sense? Give me a yes. Someone says interesting. Very good. Very good. Very good. So when using you're welcome is polite. It is polite, but usually when someone says you're welcome, it can mean that yes, I know a lot more than you do. I am much better than you are. You're welcome. That's sometimes what it means. So is it making sense? Yeah. Makes sense. Very good. It makes sense. It makes sense. Jamali Samane, the tip was lifesaver. Thank you. Thank you, Samane. Mahi. Hi, Mahi. Nice to see you. I didn't get it. Afsar V44. I didn't get it. Okay. What about cheers? Cheers is the same. Yes, Samira Mokri. Can't find it in books. Exactly. This is something that you don't find in textbooks. So somebody who's from China, someone who's from, I don't know, India, anybody, as soon as they say thank you, I can still talk to them if I know their English is good enough. If I think their English isn't very good, I'll just say, yeah, sure, and just make it very short because I know they will struggle to understand what I'm saying if I start having a conversation. But if you're talking to a native English speaker from any country, native English speaker, that is the culture. Shall we have another example? Can you make another example? There we go. Yes, Parisa. Let's have another example. Okay. Let's say, and this has happened to me many, many times. My name is Layla, yeah, and the spelling of my name is Leila. That's the spelling of my name. Now Layla is one of these names that can be spelt in so many different ways. You can have Leyla. You can have H at the end, Layla. So people spell the name in many, many different ways. They also pronounce the name in different ways as well. There are people that call me Lila or Leela, yeah, different pronunciations. So let's say again, we're in the office and you have either called me Lale, which is completely different to Layla, or maybe you have pronounced my name incorrectly. Okay, so you've made a mistake, a very small mistake. And I correct you. I say, actually, it's Layla. That's it. I don't get upset. I don't get funny. Funny, it means upset. I don't get funny. So when people get funny funny by itself is khandedar, yeah? When people get funny, that means they get a bit upset, yeah? They get a bit upset. So when people get funny, yeah, if somebody calls me a different name, a wrong name, I'm not going to get funny. No, it was a mistake. And they say sorry. I'm not going to say, yes, you should be sorry. That's horrible, isn't it? Oh my God, that person will feel tiny. They'll feel so small and so embarrassed and insignificant. I don't want to give that feeling. When someone apologizes to me, again, I expect the apology. Thank you. I want to hear it. I expect it. But again, I completely bypass and ignore your sorry. And I sympathize with you to try and make you understand that I know why you made a mistake. Yeah, or I can try and understand why you made a mistake. So you call me Lale and I say, actually, it's Layla. And you say, oh, sorry. I don't say, oh, no, it's okay. I don't say this. This is my response. You say, sorry. I say, yeah, there's a lot of people and their names start with L. Right? So I have just given you a reason why I understand why you made the mistake. You don't feel embarrassed anymore, do you? Or I will say, yeah, I know it's a bit of an unusual name. The correct pronunciation is Layla, not Leela. But I know it's an unusual name. Again, you've said sorry. Now that I respond this way, you don't feel embarrassed, do you? Because I've given you a reason of why I am trying to understand why you made the mistake. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if it makes sense at all. I thought it would be rude not to respond to thank you. How about that's okay? Hi, Kevon. So that's okay is fine, absolutely fine. But a more normal, a more common way, a more natural way of responding to thank you is if we bypass the thank you and we just talk about the situation or whatever. We don't want to stress too much on the thank you. Does that make sense? In certain situations. So if you're in a friendly situation, you've done something for someone, you've explained it to a student, an intern, whatever, whoever is with you, and they say thank you, you can say that's okay. But a more common, a more natural way of answering that thank you is to say, yeah, I understand it's quite tricky, yeah, which is why you were helping them in the first place and they said thank you. Or you can say, yeah, any other questions, you know where I am. So we bypass the thank you. We don't want to stress on it too much, if that makes sense. Right, very good, very good. No worries, yeah, that's the same. No worries is another way of saying you're welcome. Do you teach people who want to learn English from intermediate, I mean in a private way? I do not, sorry, I do not teach, no. There is you're welcome, Kayvon. Right now with Kayvon, because I don't have that much time to talk about it and to respond, I just say you're welcome. But if it was just me and Kayvon, and we were having this conversation, as soon as Kayvon says thank you, I completely bypass his thank you and I just explain a little bit more, or I try and take it away from the thank you situation. Yeah, very good. Thank you, lovely. Yes, excellent, lovely. So those are two examples Another one, so you can use these for please, thank you, sorry, all of these. You think to yourself, do I know this person? Do I see this person every day? Or do I know this person? If I do, are we in the position to be able to talk for 30 seconds or 1 minute? If we are, then I'm not going to acknowledge their please or thank you or their sorry. I'm actually continuing having a conversation with them. Yeah. Let me think of one more example. Right, let's get back to the example of our very good friend, the hairdresser today. I'm so sorry, I forgot her name, but her question stayed in my mind, definitely. And I posted a story of this. Very, very good question. And she said, Layla, if somebody gives me a tip because she's really happy with how I cut her hair, can I say it's my pleasure? It's my pleasure is a very, very extremely formal way of answering. It's something you would say if you were talking to the king or the queen of a country. So we don't use it with normal people. Yeah, it's very, very, very formal. If you're talking to the prime minister or the ambassador or a president of another country or even your country, just to our customers or to people that we have, because we want to specifically. Now, this is the difference. When you have a customer in Iran, I'm guessing it's quite formal. You want to obviously be very polite with your customer. You want to act in a very formal, polite way. So maybe that's why when the customer gives you a tip in Iran, you say, قابلی نداره, you say, you know, lots and lots of really nice things. We don't do that in English-speaking countries. We want to make our customers or our colleagues or everybody feel very comfortable around us, okay? We want to get rid of that very formal situation. We want to create an informal, friendly situation. That's our way of being polite and being friendly, by creating an informal situation, which is another reason why you see that when we go to university and college, we address our professors and our supervisors by their first name. It's a very formal relationship. He's my professor, she's my professor, but we still call each other, we address each other on first name basis, because we want to create an informal, friendly situation. So when I've got a customer who's happy with my work, this customer is happy with the service that I've provided, and they say thank you, I'm not going to say you're welcome. I'm going to keep it very relaxed. Some people have said خودمونی, exactly. Some people have said no worries. Some people have said anytime. But a very popular way in the UK that we respond, if I were the hairdresser and she's just paid me a tip, I would say, no, that really suits you. I completely ignore the tip. Thank you. I completely ignore the tip. I completely ignore the thank you. I start talking about the hair. No, it really, really suits you. And wow, you know, or that color really suits you, or it really frames your face. It really frames your face. It really suits your face. Or, you know, it looks really good. You've got really good quality hair. Your hair is lovely and soft. Or I'd start talking about these things instead of specifically addressing the thank you. Excuse me. I hope that makes sense. Our friend here, Farshid, sorry, not Farshid, Musjan 1000, saved this live. Yes, definitely. Farshid 3003, is there any way to learn and understand the roadman? And Cockney, I want to understand my teenager. Oh, welcome to the era of teenage parents. You know, sometimes I have difficulty understanding my own teenagers. It's not just the accent or anything, it's just their own language that they use. My daughter uses this phrasal verb. Grammatically it's wrong, but that's what they use at their age. The phrasal verb is crash out, crash out, crash out. They keep using crash out. And many a time I've asked her, Ella, we don't say crash out. She says, yeah, we do. Everybody at school says it. Everyone on TikTok says it. So kids, teenagers, they have their own language. They really do. They have their own language. So you're not alone anyway. If you don't understand your teenager, I know it's difficult. One way of you helping to improve your Cockney accent or understanding the Cockney accent is by watching programs, not just films, but by watching what the lovely Artifa, the teacher, lovely Artifa, the teacher, right? She posted a story a few days ago. And she was it a story or a reel? I can't remember. But she said that one way of improving your English is by watching real life programs, right? Like, for example, programs on gardening, programs on inside a factory. It's like a documentary, but it's real people and they talk to real people. That's where you can extract and get real, natural conversation instead of just watching a film. So if you can find any kind of real English programs that are on TV and they are real English, people that help to sort your house, get rid of all the clutter, all the extra furniture, people who help in gardening, people who help in training dogs, they help in training children, real life programs, people who come and teach how you can remodel this house and then sell it again, you know, these kind of programs, but with a Cockney accent. If you can find those are really helpful for your accent. The Ellen Show, yes. Reality shows, absolutely. A Geordie accent, it's very difficult to have a Geordie accent in Newcastle. Rose Beauty, Newcastle, yes. Geordie accent is a really sweet accent. It's so sweet, it really is. Okay. Or the Ellen Show, Javon, absolutely. Any of the American shows, the Ellen Show, they don't have Oprah anymore, but Oprah was one of them, because you're talking to real people and these people are not just reading from a rehearsed text. They're answering in a very natural, normal way, and that's what we want. Yeah. Mosjan 1000, when do you use arrear? Arrears is when you are behind with paying your loan, paying your credit card bill, that kind of thing. We say, I am in arrears. I'm in arrears. What this is. Sohail Safai, yeah, 72. Hi Sohail. آیا لهجه بریتیش اکتسابیه مثل آمریکایی یا نه؟ اکتسابی, I'm not sure what that is. I'm so sorry. Can someone help me? What does اکتسابی mean? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Usually if I am on my phone, I'll Google it quickly, but I'm using my phone for this live. So if someone can tell me what اکتسابی means, I can answer your question, or I can try. How about extra English, YouTube, Momani 2XM? Yeah, any kind of real English that you can find on YouTube, absolutely. All these programs that I just talked about, that people go in a house, they do it up and then they sell it again, that's reality show. You can find all of these on YouTube, absolutely. Okay, so اکتسابی means به دست آوردنی. So something which is acquired. اکتسابی means کسب کردن، به دست آوردن. Okay, به دست آوردنی. So let me go back to the question and see if I understand what the question was. آیا لهجه بریتیش اکتسابیه مثل آمریکایی؟ لهجه بریتیش. I think please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if I've understood our friend's question or not. Please correct me. Is our friend asking, is the British accent something that you can learn and pick up? Is it easy to learn like the American accent? Is that the question? یعنی با تمرین میشه این لهجه رو یاد گرفت. Yes, so I understood the question correctly. Whew, okay. Right. Achievable. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. He means, can you learn it? Yes. Sorry. You can learn anything. You can learn absolutely anything. Absolutely anything. I am British. I speak with a British accent. I can also speak Farsi with a Farsi accent, with sometimes, not always, but sometimes perfect kh and q. As you know, sometimes I joke around and I can speak with an American accent as well. So accent is just training the muscles of your mouth to make sounds. That's it. You've got the same muscles that I've got, that everybody, we've all got the same muscles. We've all got the tools right here. It's just a case of listening very carefully and copying, and then listening and copying, listening. Anybody, absolutely anybody can pick up an accent. That's one of the easiest things you can do. That's why some students, they say, oh, I just want a teacher with American accent. I just want a teacher with British accent. When I respond to that is, sorry, is your English very, very good that now you're just worried about the accent? Or why don't you focus on your English first, make your English good, because accent is something that you can pick up very quickly, but the language takes a lot longer. Yeah, okay. Clearing your voice was fantastic. Okay, thank you. Listening is very important. Listening is very important, yes. When we're living in the UK, of course, our accent is British. Shabani, yes, Shabani 22. Absolutely, absolutely. There are lots of foreign people who live here as well. Lots of Americans, Australians, Canadians, South Africans, and other countries that live here as well. Excuse me. Okay, Sohail, did that answer your question? متوجه شدم. ممنونم از شما و لهجه زیبای شما. Thank you very much. I don't know if my لهجه is زیبا, but thank you. من لیسانس زبان دارم ولی نمیتونم خوب انگلیسی صحبت کنم. لطفاً راهنمایی کنید. That's for Insia 1807. Thank you very much, Insia, for your lovely question. I have a degree in psychology. Okay, I absolutely love psychology. I went to university. I got a degree in it. And just because I have a degree in something doesn't mean that I know everything about psychology, right? So just because we have a degree in something doesn't mean that we know lots and lots of things about it. So please don't put too much pressure on yourself. Oh my God, I have a degree in English. Why can't I speak? That's perfectly normal. A degree is what, 3-4 years? It doesn't really teach you that much. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Ways of learning English. As always, learning any kind of language is about trying to think in that language, trying to understand the culture of that language. So the lesson that we had tonight, that when someone says thank you, culturally I ignore the thank you and I start talking about the benefits of that software, or I start talking about how lovely your hair looks at the hairdressers. These are all cultural aspects. So learning a language isn't just the vocabulary, the grammar and pronunciation. There's a lot more to it. And one of the best ways, I think, of learning it is to read and listen or watch. Read, listen, watch, read, listen, watch. I can never start speaking Japanese if I haven't learnt Japanese, right? A lot of people come to an English-speaking country and they start getting upset with themselves. Why can't I speak English? Because you haven't studied English. The brain isn't magic, right? We have to read, we have to listen, we have to watch. We have to let our brain get this information, process it. We have to rehearse it, learn it, practice it, use it, and that's how it will stay. So in response to that lovely lady who says, I have a degree in English, a degree in English doesn't really mean that much. A degree in anything doesn't really mean that much. It just means you know 3 or 4 years of that subject, which isn't really very much. if you want it to be like a language. I suggest you read as much as you can, watch, listen. If you can, try and talk. That might help. Yeah. Get funny, get upset, Ali. Absolutely, absolutely. Link life situations and phrase. Link life situations. Okay. Then try to strengthen the links. Okay. I'm a maths teacher in the UK. My maths knowledge is really good, but sometimes I struggle with English. This is Tina. Yes, that is because we have a new set of, a different set of vocabulary, don't we, to what they use in Farsi for maths. We have a different set of vocabulary, but you know the subject, which is the important thing. Just learning the vocabulary, I'm sure it will be very easy. I used to, when I was in college many years ago, I used to teach maths GCSE. And I remember I had a Chinese student. Oh my God, she was so bright. Oh, she was so bright and so fast with her maths. She was so bright. But she got very low marks in her practice GCSE maths exam with me. And she actually started crying. She got her tissue out and she started crying. And I said, what's wrong? Daisy. She had a Chinese name, but she called herself Daisy. I said, Daisy, what's wrong? And she said, I got a really low mark in Chinese. I am fantastic with my maths. I said, yes, you need to understand that you have studied maths. You've learnt maths in a different language. All you have to do is learn the English vocabulary we use in maths. As soon as you learn the English of it, you'll be back on top again. So don't worry. Which one is more difficult? Learning all of that mathematics or just learning a little bit of English that translates that mathematics? I think maths is more difficult to learn. You just need to learn the English version of it. That's all. So, man اوضاعم خرابه لیل خانم. I'm sorry to hear that. I think all of us have some issues. A lot of you think, oh, Layla, she can speak 2 languages. She lives in a house. She lives in the UK. You know, she's got her own Instagram and there are so many issues all of us have. So many issues all of us have. We all have our baggage. We all have our issues. I just hope that you get to deal with them and you get to overcome them as soon as possible. Okay. Lovely. Right. Why see you say maths sometimes and math sometime? Okay. This is the final question I'm going to ask, if that's okay. So in the UK, we say maths. We put S at the end because the full version is mathematics. We say maths. In America and Canada, they say math. There's no S. Math. Okay, but we say maths. It's up to you which one you want to use. Very good. So what I'm just going to say right at the end here is you might have seen I put a reel on yesterday on Instagram on the 4th of March. That's on Tuesday. I think I got the Farsi date wrong. I'm so sorry. 4th of March. So today is Sunday. I'm talking about in 2 days, not Monday, Tuesday. On Tuesday, 4th of March at 6 o'clock UK time, which will be 9:30 p.m. in Iran, I'm going to go live, not on Instagram. I want you to listen. My live on 4th of March is not on Instagram. It's not on YouTube. It's not on Telegram. It's somewhere completely different. It's a different platform. The only way you can get access to it is if you register. The link is in my bio. You need to click on that link, you write your name, your email address, and you submit, or جای منو رزرو کنید, something like this. And then you will automatically go into a special Telegram group, okay? When you're in that Telegram group, that means you're in. So everybody in that Telegram group, I think we've got quite a few hundred people there, 200-300 people there. When you're in that Telegram group, those are the only people who will see me live on Tuesday. Okay, so my Tuesday live is not on Instagram, not YouTube, not Facebook, not Telegram. It's just in that specific group. The way you can get access to it, I'm going to give a completely free lesson. It's going to be a 1 hour free lesson. It's going to be for beginner to intermediate level. I'm going to teach you something that you don't know, you haven't heard of before. It's going to include culture, it's going to include language, idiom, pronunciation. It's going to be a very, very interesting lesson for you. Absolutely free. You come and you take part and you listen. And I will be quizzing you in the middle of it as well to make sure that you've understood. But again, it's not on Instagram. It's on a different platform. If you want to take part, please click on the link in my bio. Register. When I go on live on Tuesday and I have my lesson, it will be recorded, because I got messages from people in Canada and Australia as well. What about us? Yes, it will be recorded. Anybody who's in that Telegram group, you will all get the recorded video so you can watch it again. But if you haven't registered, you can't watch that video, I'm afraid. You will not be in that lesson. Okay, so make sure you click the link in my bio. If there are any issues, please DM me. Do it before Tuesday. Do it before Tuesday if you want to have a really, really good lesson. Okay, thank you very much. Have you got another group or Telegram, on Telegram or WhatsApp? Another group? Yes, so this is the group I'm talking about, which is for Tuesday. Yeah. Once you enroll, once you register, you get to go in that Telegram group. Okay, very good. On the main page, yes. Okay, please say, where is bio? Okay, so on my Instagram page, when you go on the normal Layla's English Lab Instagram page, yeah, at the top you see my face, yeah. Under there, you've got some information, born in the UK, teach English, all these kind of things. Then there's a link. It's a blue link. You just click on that link, please. If there are still issues, please DM me. Is it free? Yes, 100%. That one lesson, 1 hour, one lesson, Tuesday night is absolutely free. Anybody who registers. Is it free? Yes, yes. What time on Tuesday? 6 p.m. 6 p.m. UK time, 9:30 p.m. Iran time. Okay? So no excuses. I want to see all of you there. Yeah, all of you. Thank you very much. Lovely, lovely. Have a very good evening. I look forward to seeing all of you on Tuesday evening in my lesson. It'll be on my laptop. It's going to be great. You will really enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Good night.